Hey, how's it going? I'm Jack, and I'm a 3-time world record holder in solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But today, we're gonna go back to the basics, and I'll teach you how to solve a Rubik's Cube normally. Yeah, it's, I think, portrayed as like this thing for like geniuses and pop culture and movies and all that kind of stuff. And while I think it's quite an abstract thing, so at first you'll be like, I don't know what's going on, and once you learn to solve it, you'll still be like, I don't know what's going on. Just approach it with an open mind. And it'll take a bit of time as well. Not as much as you might think. Not like that Karen I met on the train the other day that went like, this will take me 60 years to solve. Like, no, like a lot less than 60 years. But yeah, without further ado, let's go to the tutorial. So before I move on, just want to tell you a couple of things that are quite important. So first of all, learning to solve the cube and the process behind it is kind of abstract. Like, even when I learned how to solve the cube for the first time, I still didn't know how the method worked, like, at all. It was like I was doing a bunch of random sequences of moves, and then colors were just randomly solving themselves, and I was just like, holy hell, that's really cool, but I still don't understand what's going on. If that's you during this tutorial, then I totally understand you, and that's fine. The main thing is to make sure you can recognize cases, follow steps, and then it will work, just like any other skill in life, except this is kind of weird, so. The second thing is that if I were to take this apart by dissecting it, disassembling it, you'll notice that the cube's actually made out of pieces rather than stickers. Well, this one actually doesn't have stickers, it's tiled, so you can't peel off the stickers. So I'm just gonna do that a bit more. Okay, kind of hard to see because my table's black, but on this side we have 12 edge pieces. Edge pieces have 2 colors on them. And on the right side, we have 8 corner pieces. Corner pieces have 3 colors on them. And in the core, we have center pieces, each with 1 color on them, attached to the central swivel thing. Anyway, that will come in handy later. But the important thing to note is that we're going to solve layer by layer rather than face by face. It's akin to building a house by building the foundation first, then like the bricks and windows and stuff, and then the roof. Not that I've built a house before, but I imagine it sounds more likely like what it actually is compared to building the windows and then like, oh crap, I gotta build a base and then just chuck a roof and then like the other windows. Like, that makes no sense, so don't do that. Okay, so the first step is to get a white daisy complete. So get 4 white edges around a yellow center. This step tends to be pretty easy for people, I find, but I'll do a quick example anyway. So first of all, keep the yellow center at the top at all times, and I recommend trying to expect the cube kind of like this. So once again, the yellow center is generally always facing the top, just to make sure you don't get disoriented or anything. So here is a white edge, so I can move it up like so. That's one complete. Here's another one down here, but if I move this up straight away, we'll bump that one out of the way. So I'll chuck this to the side and move this one up. And this one here, solve it like that. So move it to the side and then bring it up. And the last one, we'll look around. Once again, I'm generally keeping the yellow center facing the top, or else you'll get really confused. One here, this is a bit more complicated. So, what I can do is move it down here, move it to the side, move this up like that, and bring this in place. But this step tends not to be too difficult. Okay, and the second step will be to solve the cross. So using this disassembled cube, essentially what you're doing is solving all the white edges. So essentially, by the end of this step, I'm gonna have the white-red edge between the white-red center pieces. And when that's done, the piece is solved. So once again, it goes back to thinking in terms of pieces rather than stickers. But it'll make more sense as we go along, and it's not super important right now, but just a precursor. Anyway, going back to here. So the first step will be to find a white edge piece, because that's what we're looking for, because that's what we're trying to solve. The second step would be to, the second step of this step would be to turn the bottom 2 layers until you can get these 2 colors to match. So at the moment it's red and orange, so no, that still isn't matching. Now it's matching. So what you do now is you move it to the side, the right side, and you turn it down twice like this. So 1, 2. You can just quickly check to see if it's matching, if these 2 colors and these 2 colors are matching. And if that's done, then that means you've solved that piece. So you repeat that again 3 more times. So look for a white edge piece, like one here, turn the bottom two layers till you get a matching two colors here. Done. Move to the side, and then turn it twice. 1, 2. And now that solves. Repeat again. White edge piece. Keep moving the bottom two layers till you match the front two colors. Move it to the side. 1, 2. That's solved now. White edge piece. Move the bottom two layers. It's matching. Move it to the side, and 1, 2. And now you've solved the first step, which is the cross. Okay, so we're going to go to step 3 now, which is essentially where we're going to solve all the white corners and ultimately solve the entire first layer like so, and get the upside down T on all of those faces. So once again, white corners have 3 colors on them, so we're just kind of chucking them all down from the top layer to the bottom, kind of like what we did for the edges in the previous step. Anyway, step 1 of this step is to look at the top layer and find a white corner piece. So here's one right here. There are going to be 3 possible cases. The white corner could have the white sticker facing towards you like that, on the right, or facing up. So I'm going to deal with this case because this is the easiest. So if you get the white like that or that, what I want you to do is turn the bottom 2 layers until you get kind of like step 2, matching colors. So in this case, this color is matching to the adjacent centerpiece like that. Then what you want to do is have the white sticker facing towards you, and if it's on the right hand side, you do what's called the righty alg. Alg short for algorithm, which is a fancy way of saying a sequence of moves. This one's pretty simple. It's just a 4-move sequence that goes like this. So you flick the top layer of your right finger like that, move that right layer up, flick top layer of your left finger like that, move it down, just like that. And if you did it correctly, you should have an L here, an L here, and a square here, and that's solved. So we're gonna go and find another example. So this is the other case. Someone's gonna find a white corner and put it on the right hand side. So if I found this back here, you put it on the right hand side, and then you turn the bottom 2 layers. So once again, it can either be facing towards you, to the right, or upwards. So since it's one of these two, we're going to match the adjacent colors, just like that. So these are adjacent, so this is matching. And hold it so that the white sticker is facing towards you, just like that. And then since it's on the left hand side, you want to perform the lefty alg. So it goes like that. Left flick, move it up with the left hand this time. Right flick, down. So it's mostly using the left hand this time as opposed to the right hand. And there's an L here, an L here, and a square here. So that is now solved. I want to find another white corner piece, and there's one back here. This time, then hold it on the right hand side. This time it's facing upwards though. So if it's facing upwards, instead of trying to match the adjacent colors, we're going to try to make, I'll call it a checkerboard pattern. So our goal isn't to get adjacent matching colors like this, but sort of a checkerboard pattern on this upside down like V thing. So what I mean by that is, if we turn it so that it's here, notice how we're getting orange, blue, orange, blue. So it's kind of like alternating. So you have like the same 2 colors on both of these diagonals, but they're like not the same. They're just like alternating. So just go for that checkerboard pattern and hold on the right hand side. And if you get this case where it's facing up, you do the righty alg 3 times. So 1, 2. Notice how we're back to this case which we've done before. 3. And if it's done, once again, L, L, and the square here. In the event that you can't find a white corner on the upper layer, what you can do is try to find an unsolved piece on the bottom layer. So for example, this one, this is not solved, like there's no L's here, even though there's a square. And you hold it on the right hand side, you do the righty alg once, and then you continue as per usual. Last case, so once again, a white corner piece, hold it on the right hand side, which it already is, like positioned, and then turn the bottom 2 layers until you get adjacent matching colors. Now you want to have this white facing towards you. The reason why, once again, don't do this, but we didn't try to get the white facing towards us for the previous case was because if we do that, then the yellow center is now facing towards us. We want to have the yellow center on the top for every single step except the last step. So just keep that in mind. You should always, whenever searching for pieces or anything, always have the yellow center around the top. Pretend it's like a string coming out. It's the cube's some sort of like puppet in a puppet show. If that's the case, then you probably can't do much aside from that. You don't want to do that because that would be impossible if that were theoretically the case. Anyway, hold it like that. And because on that side, we want to have the white facing towards us, like that. And then do the lefty arrow because it's on the left-hand side now. So left flick, that up, right flick, move the left side down. And if you did it correctly, you should have a upside down T on each face and the whole white side solved. But more importantly, once again, looking at it from a piece perspective, you solved all the white pieces. So you'll never see a white piece on the top layer ever again unless you screw up. Well, I mean, you technically have to screw up the cube in order to solve the rest, or else it's like impossible. But you get what I mean. Congratulations. So now we're going to solve all the non-yellow edge pieces. So once again, edges have two colors on them. So using this cube that I'm reassembling, I bet some of you guys have done this before, just because you couldn't be bothered solving the actual thing. You're basically getting these from the top layer. Once again, they always come from the top layer, and you're chucking them in here. And these are the windows or the bricks in the middle of the house. I don't know much about building at all, so. But the point is, you're building layer by layer, not face by face. That's stupid. I definitely haven't tried that before. Yeah, it should look like that at the end. And you should have yellow pieces left over, but we're not touching these for now. Be gone, yellow pieces. So let's continue. First of all, you probably guessed it. Look for a non-yellow edge piece, because that's what we're trying to solve right now on the upper layer. So we just happen to have one right here. I'm just going to move it out of the way just for, so it's better to demonstrate what you're trying to do. So find a non-yellow edge piece, and then you turn the bottom two layers. I think you can see a pattern here until you get these front two colors matching, just like in step 2. Bada boom. Now what we're going to do is figure out if this piece needs to go to the left or the right. The way we can tell is to check the top color first, which is blue, and then check the left and right, and see which upside down T has the color we're looking for. Upside down T here is green, that's not blue, so it has to be this side. And yes, the upside down T here is blue, so it goes to the right. Okay, and we're gonna call this, I haven't thought of a name for this yet, shoot. Let's call it the righty edge insert. I don't want to call it the righty edge alg, because that could be confused with the righty alg, so righty edge insert. And it's comprised of two algs, smaller algs, you know already, which is the righty alg. So once again, right flick, move that up, left flick, down. And this step you solve just like in the previous step. So you solve this corner just like what you did. So when you have this case, you have the yellow facing towards you, so you rotate it, have it facing towards you. And just like in the previous step, we do lefty alg now. So flick, move that up, flick, down. This time, if it's solved, you should have a square on every face like that, and that edge is now solved. Just going back to what we had before, essentially what you did during that step was, you don't have to really understand this, but it will make sense later on. Joining this edge and corner together, so notice how these two colors are the same, so that when you put this corner in, you don't just solve the corner, but you solve the edge as well. So you take the corner out, you unsolve the corner, join it together with the edge, and then you chuck it back together. You'll see a lot of solving and unsolving. You can't keep everything solved all the time, because it's literally impossible to solve it otherwise. So it's kind of one step backwards, 2 steps forwards, like that kind of thing, if you want to feel more motivational and all that. Anyway, I'll just move stuff around again. So find a non-yellow edge piece on the upper layer. Let's see, there's one here. Move the bottom 2 layers till you get 2 matching colors. Bada boom. Or boom baby. And you'll understand a reference later, or you might understand it already. And right side or left side. So green. The green upside down T is on the right side. So same thing again, righty alg. Then you rotate it, so the right's facing towards you, lefty alg. And 3 squares complete. So we're going to continue doing this. I'm going to just mix this up a bit just so we don't get another case that's exactly the same again. Find a non-yellow edge piece on the upper layer. This one here, place it on the front. Should have emphasized that. And then move the bottom 2 layers. These 2 colors are matching. And this time, blue top, blue upside down T is on the left side. So I think you guessed it, we do the lefty alg first. So lefty alg. And now we have to get the white sticker facing towards us. So rotate it like so. And then we do the righty alg. And once again, square, square, square. This is solved. And now for the last case. Once again, I'm just going to do some stuff to make this a bit trickier. Just to give you more examples. So you might come across a case where once again, there are no non-yellow edges on the upper layer. But we have this piece which isn't solved because, you know, we're looking for a square, 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 but this is not square. So once again, just like in the previous step, put it on the right hand side and do the righty edge inserts this time to take it out. So righty alg, and then rotate so the white's facing towards you, lefty alg. And then you can continue as per usual because the non-yellow edge is now back on the top layer. And I'll just solve this again, so hold it in front, match the front 2 colors, orange, orange, goes to the right side, righty alg, rotate so white's facing towards me, lefty alg. And now we've solved the bottom 2 layers. Nice job. Okay, we've reached the halfway point, which is awesome. So the next step, or the next 4 steps actually, because the first 4 steps we did solve the first 2 layers, and the next 4 will solve the last layer. The reason why the last layer is taking 4 more steps is because it's a bit harder because we already have all this solved, so it's a bit more finicky. Anyway, the goal is to finish, or not finish, but get a yellow cross on top. But Jack, you might be saying, like, why are these colors are not matching? You're an absolute hypocrite. Once again, this is a bit harder, so we're going to solve this cross in 2 steps, kind of like what we did for the white cross actually. The first step is to get all the yellow edges facing upwards. Then we'll actually solve them. So orienting the yellow edges and then actually solving it. Or in other words, you're just getting the whole yellow thing facing up and then just solving them. That's steps 5 and 6. So yeah, here's the cube. Let's do this. There are 4 possible cases. The dot, the 9 o'clock, the L, or the cross. And if you have the cross already, then you've already finished this step. So congratulations for doing absolutely nothing. Okay, so going back to this case. So if you get a dot, perform this algorithm. So you turn the front face 90 degrees clockwise like this. Pretend it's like a dial pointing to 12. You move it down to 3. And then you do the righty alg, which you know already. Move that dial back from 3 to 12 o'clock, like that. This next case is the line, so once again from kind of any angle. Once again, as long as the yellow center is facing the top, you'll probably be safe. Same thing, front face 90 degrees clockwise, righty alg, front face 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Now you have the 9 o'clock, but it's not really 9 o'clock, it's like 3:30 now, but let's rotate it to make it 9 o'clock. And now that it's 9 o'clock, we do the same thing. Front face 90 degrees clockwise, righty alg, front face 90 degrees anti-clockwise, cross on top. And now that we're here, yellows are on top, we've done step 5. I'm gonna get you to learn another algorithm, which is not too difficult. Basically gonna shuffle the edges around and get all these to where they actually belong. So you're gonna actually, solve these edges and get these matching colors which you're looking for. So that's step 6. Okay, so for this step, what I want you to do is find a yellow edge piece. So once again, you're looking for the piece you're trying to solve. In this case, it's kind of everywhere, just like step 2, so it's not really any need to do that. Step 2 is to remove the bottom 2 layers and match the front 2 colors. You're very familiar with this by now. Now you should have 4 possible cases. So case 1, so this is matching, and no other ones are matching. So we'll call this the no match case. Case 2 would be if you have an adjacent edge matching. So something like, whoops, I solved it by accident. So this would be an example of case 2 where you get an adjacent edge matching in color. Third possible case would be to get the opposite color matching like that. And the last one is to, of course, have all of them matching and solve, which would be very nice. Anyway, going back to this, so if you have no other colors matching, or the no match case, you perform this algorithm. So it goes like this. I haven't given this a name yet. Let's call it the left flick owl, because you flick with your left finger a lot. So it goes like this. Move that up, pew, pew, down, pew, up, pew, down. So you kind of think of like your right hand like moving some sort of target, and your left hand's like a gun, and you're just like flicking it like a gun, and it's like shooting the target or something. In this case, yeah, we've solved all of these colors, so we've completed the step. This might take, you might have to do this twice if you get a no match case in order to solve all the edges, but in this case it only took once. So here's the other case. So if we get an adjacent match case, hold it so that the matching colors are in the 9 o'clock position, kind of like in the previous step, and then you do the same alg. So up, flick, flick, down, flick, up, flick, down. And then if you just do a quick turn, everything should be matching. And if you get a opposite matching case like that, you do the algorithm once again. Just up, flick, flick, down, flick, up, flick, down, and then you'll get the adjacent matching case, which you already know how to do. So hold it at the 9 o'clock position, and then same thing. Okay, so we're at step 7 now. So the goal is to march the corners around to their correct locations. It's a bit hard to show what the solved position of this looks like, but in essence, you want to get the piece between its correct center pieces. So going back to what I mentioned before, we have yellow, orange, blue. We can kind of check the surrounding colors. This has yellow, orange, blue. This is in the correct position. So if this was like that, that, or that, this would still be complete for this step. And that applies for any of these corners. So that's like that, that, that. Once again, try this at home. It doesn't matter, as long as if it's between the correct center pieces. That's what we're looking for. It's weird saying this is solved, so let's call it in the correct location. That will work. There are 3 possible cases for this step. You could have none of the corners at home. So in this case, we have yellow, blue, red. This is yellow, red, green, so not at home. Even though the matching colors and stuff, the piece isn't between its correct corresponding center pieces. Once again, it can be twisted any direction, but if you get none of them at home, we can start marching them home by doing what I call the marching alg. It goes like this. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you do that, you'll get at least one piece at home, like this one. Once again, if this piece was like that, or like this, or like that, it doesn't matter. It's still at home. It's just like sleeping in different directions. But it's like that, so that's cool. And then if you have a piece at home, you put it on the right-hand side, you do the same thing. So you could also think of this marching alg as like right flick up, left flick up, right flick down, left flick down. And you might have to do it twice, so here we go again. Right flick up, left flick up, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I accidentally solved the entire cube. That wasn't meant to happen. Usually when you do this, you'll have something like that left over. If you get lucky like what I did, you'll have the whole cube solved, but we usually get something like that or like that. But once again, if you find that all 4 of these are in their correct, are at home, we'll call it that, then that means you've completed this step. So well done. Okay, we're at the final step now. So I don't really need to show you what the completed version of this step looks like, because it's just a solved cube. So for the first time in this tutorial, I'm going to tell you to flip the cube upside down. So now you have the yellow, not yellow, I'm colorblind. Not actually, but white facing the top. And yeah, we're going to follow a similar procedure to what we've done before. So the first part of the step is to always find the piece that we're trying to solve or do stuff with, which is the yellow corner, obviously, because that's the only unsolved piece. Step 2, on the edges, it'd be chuck it on the middle somewhere. For the corners, the right-hand side. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So have the corner on the right-hand side like this. If the yellow stick is facing towards you, you do the radial twice. If it's facing to the right, you do it 4 times. So in this case, it's facing towards me, so I'll do it twice. So 1, 2, just like that. And you can check, don't check the L's, I guess, this time, just because this is a bit of a special step. Just check to see if you have like a square at the bottom, and that should be good. Or the yellow stick is facing down. And what you do here, and I know this looks kind of messed up, and that's okay, because it's going to magically solve itself once you do the step correctly. Like, I know it blew me away for the first time when I did this. But anyway, what I want you to do is turn just the bottom layer, not the bottom 2, just the very bottom layer. And then you continue. So yellow's facing to the right. This time you do it 4 times then. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, yellow's facing the bottom, so this is good. Keep going. Yellow's facing towards me. We do it twice. 1, 2. Yep, yellow's facing the bottom, good. Keep going. Facing to the right, we do it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. This step probably needs no introduction or any words. Yeah, you solved the cube. Congratulations. You're like, you just did something that a lot of people think is like impossible, but after going, back and forth, maybe messing up a few steps here and there, you finally did it, so congratulations. Okay, congratulations for making it this far and finally solving the cube. If you just skipped from the beginning of the video till the end, go back to the beginning and actually learn to solve it first. But yeah, if you want to learn how to solve the cube faster, blindfolded in particular, because that's my speciality, or if you want like one-on-one coaching from me, if you want to spend money on getting faster at solving the cube for some reason, all that stuff's going to be in the description. As for this video, I haven't really made any tutorials and stuff on sided solving, but I might do that in the future. But anyway, links and resources will be in the description if you want to suss out some more stuff. And yeah, have fun flexing on your friends, your future girlfriend, your wife, your dog, your plants. I have a plant here right now, actually. But yeah, regardless of what happens, just like this plant, just water it a bit, practice, learn some new stuff, and it will grow and blossom. And I don't think this plant really blossoms. What does blossom even mean? I don't know. Anyway. See ya. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well for more stuff. I keep forgetting to mention that. Bye.